Hi. So I'm continuing on with chapter 43, I believe it is, and I am at verse 24. Okay, so the security guard, if you will, the doorman in Joseph's house, brings all of them into Joseph's house, into the home. And while they're scared out of their wits, how is this possible? They're afraid that who knows what's going to happen to them, that Joseph's guards are going to befall all of them and kill them or whatnot. And meanwhile, he takes water, he lets them wash their feet, and he gives food to their donkeys, reminding us Abraham gave water to the angels, and Rebecca and Lavan gave water to the servant, so it's not uncommon to extend hospitality to visitors. And they prepare the gifts until Joseph comes into the house at noon. So they knew that he's going to break bread with them. They're going to be eating bread together. And Joseph comes home and they give him the gifts. And again, they bow down to him. And he asked them, if everything okay? He asked about their welfare. Is everything peaceful? And how is your old dad? Hashalom avichem azaken? Is your father still alive? And they say that he is fine and he is alive. And again they bow down to him. And Joseph lifts his eyes and he sees Benjamin, his brother from his mother. And he says, is this your younger brother that you spoke to me about? And he says, God be gracious unto you, my son. So he barely sees him, but he knows that this is a natural brother of his from his mother and father, and he right away blesses him. And Yosef can't handle it. He is overwhelmed with emotion. So Joseph was hurrying because he wanted to go hug Benjamin. He wanted to meet him. He wanted to introduce himself, and he wanted to cry. But if he cries, he's going to disclose something is up. So he goes to another room. He goes to another chamber, and he cries over there. He washes his face. He comes, and he restrains himself, and he says, put down bread. And he eats alone, and they eat alone, and the Egyptians alone. So it seems there was a tradition that the Egyptians and the Hebrews don't eat together. So Joseph doesn't eat with the Egyptians because they know that he's a Hebrew. His brothers don't know that, so they eat separately. So there's three groups eating because they don't eat bread together. It's an abomination. It's something that's not done. It's yucky. Okay, and then he pulls off another surprise. He has a seating arrangement from the eldest to the youngest, and they're shocked. How did he know? Okay, and he has the gifts. The portions that were taken to him from before him, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times so much as the others. So he gives gifts to everybody, but Benjamin gets 5 times as many gifts. Remember who was the spoiled kid? Rachel's son? Well, guess what happens to the other Rachel's son? So, fine, they were drinking, they drank, they were probably a little bit tipsy, and we go into chapter 44, and he tells the person in charge of their house, fill up all their containers with food, as much as they could carry, and give them the money back again. And you will take my goblet, my wine cup, the silver goblet, and put it in the containers, in the bags of the youngest one. And you give them, of course, all their money back. In the morning, it's light, and they're sent off with their donkeys. They just barely leave the city, just a little bit off. And Joseph sends his manager, go chase them down because you will be much faster than them. And you'll say, why did you pay evil for good? I was good to you. Okay. And whoever took the cup from me, what, you didn't think that such a smart man like me will discover that my cup is missing? And they say, please trust us, believe us. God forbid that we should try to do. And behold, we already have proved that we're honest. We brought you back all the money that you gave us from Canaan, and how would we steal your silver or gold cup? With whoever has the cup will be a servant to you, will be a slave, and we too will be servants to you. And Joseph says, now look, let it be according to your own words. He with whom it is found will be my servant. The rest of you, I have no need for you. You could all go. Okay? And they hurried and took every man his sack, and they opened it up, and lo and behold, he is looking in order. Sorry, I jumped the line. They start with the oldest to increase the suspense, I suppose, and they found the goblet in Benjamin's sack. And they all think, oh my God, we're doomed. They tore their garment as a sign of mourning. They all took everything back on their donkeys, and they came back to Joseph. And Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and Joseph is still there. He's waiting for them patiently and sneakily. And Joseph says to them, what did you do? You didn't think that I'm going to discover it? And Judah says, oh my God, what could we possibly say? How could we possibly find an excuse? How could we? God found our sin. We're all slaves, us and the kid in whose bag you found. And Joseph says, God forbid that I should do such a thing. I will only take the person in whose hands the goblet was found. The rest of you go see your dad, go peacefully. And Yehudah says, please, please, my lord, let me speak to you. Don't be upset with me. I recognize you as if you are Pharaoh. You asked, saying, have you a father or a brother? And we told you the entire truth. And we have a father, an old man, and a child of old age, and a little one, and his brother is gone, and now he's left alone, and he doesn't have a mother, and his father loved him. And um, you said unto the servants, bring him, and we brought him. We did everything you asked us. And we told you he can't leave his father. If he leaves his father, he will die. I suppose it means that his father will die. And you told us, if the little one doesn't come, don't see my face again. And we came back, we told our father everything, and with great hesitation, he said to us, go bring us food. We don't have a choice. We have to go back. And he said, we told him, we can't go without Benjamin coming with us, and we can't go see him. And our father told us, I have two children from one wife, and one of them left me, and he's gone. And we were told that he was eaten by an animal. And if you take this one, then I will die, go into my grave as a sad man. And now, when I come to you, my father, and the son is not with us, seeing that his soul is bound up with the lad's soul, surely my father will die if I don't have him with. And when he sees that the son and the little one is not with us, our little brother, he will surely die. And we will be guilty of bringing our father's death into his grave sadly. And I personally promise Dad that I will bring him back, and I will bring him back to you. Otherwise, I will sin all your days. And please, I beg you, let us take the boy back to Father, and let the little one come back with me. How can I possibly face my father? And Joseph can't handle it, and he begins to cry, and he discloses himself to his brothers. And we're going to stop here until the next lesson. So we're through chapter 45.